Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. Today is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays, I answer your questions. Each week, I ask people to ask me questions, and the following week, I answer them. This week, I got some really great questions. I actually have a lot to show. I'm going to try to get through the first couple of questions pretty quick, and then the next two questions have just a ton of stuff to show. So the first question comes from Kay Munin, who wrote, "What drew you towards Golden Age comics?" Um, Actually, I got kind of started in Golden Age comics because of my love of history. I'm a big history buff. I like the idea of what caused the different ages, for example, like Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age. And what led me, I sort of went down this weird rabbit hole of being interested in what ended the Golden Age. And one of the things I learned about was the seduction of the innocent. And I was like, I'd really like to buy or find all the books that are related to the seduction of the innocent. And so if you look at my early videos, you can see like I'm really focused on collecting the seduction of the innocent golden age books. And those really crossed a lot of different genres. So there was crime, good girl, um, horror, romance, pretty much everything was in those early was listed in the seduction of the innocent as having a negative influence on the youth of America. And it basically, by trying to collect those books, it led me down so many different rabbit holes of, oh, that's a cool book, oh, that's a cool story. And I ended up collecting a lot more than just the original 155 books that were mentioned in the seduction of the innocent. um, so it led me into collecting a lot of the stuff that I built my collections around now. And it also led me into appreciating certain artists, and that led me to more stuff. So it was really my love of history and my curiosity about what led to the end of the Golden Age that led me to really getting into comics, Golden Age comics, I should say. And when you take that historical approach to to collecting, it actually is very educational. It's like, I felt like if I had just sort of dabbled into what people said, oh, you should buy these ones or, recommend these ones, might not have like had such a good understanding of the genre as much as if just by going in and trying to learn the history. Like when you go in and you try to learn, oh, what was the influences, or how did the books change, and what was so wrong about these books, why did Wortham hate them so much, and what was their response to Wortham, because so many of the books actually were responding to the pressures that they were facing. And there's like so much cool story that was happening that by me collecting that way, I really kind of got a better understanding, a deeper understanding of the books than just saying, "Oh, that's a cool cover." So yeah, that's what drew me into Golden Age comic collecting. Uh, Leo Tor asked, "Do you have any original Good Girl art from the Golden Age?" Sadly, no. I do not have any Good Girl art from the Golden Age. Typically, it's quite hard to get. It really wasn't saved the way art is saved nowadays. Typically, they would just throw it away, even. So there's really not much of it around. And the stuff that you would find is very valuable, very expensive. So I haven't had much luck finding original art. I'd love to own some, but I don't actually own any original Golden Age art. Are you tempted to crack open those slabs and enjoy the interior artwork and take in the nostalgic aroma of the 50s newsprint? That was the second question. So I actually love the books in the slab. I actually, I know it's really kind of counter productive to comic collecting, that you have it stuck in a slab and you can't actually read the book. But I actually really like seeing them in the slabs because I do enjoy cover art. However, I do like to find out what the interior art is, and there's a bunch of sites that I use to read the interior art. So there's readcomicsonline.li, and there's Comic Book Plus, and there's 1 Million Comic Books. Those three sites I use to basically find out what the interiors look like, because I am curious. I do want to read these books, mainly because a lot of the Golden Age books have those really cool covers that make you intrigued, that make you want to read what's inside. So I do try to find out what the interiors look like. And sometimes, I'm actually surprised how great the interior art is on some of the books. Sometimes it's the opposite, where you see it's all cover and inside there's very not so great stuff. That happened a lot in every age. So yeah, but I read most of my books online. I do have most of my books are raw, like and I do sometimes flip through those books when they're low grade and I don't have any fear of potentially hurting the book. So I do flip through the raw books. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. Only about, like, I would say 2% of my collection is slabbed. Something like that, 2 or 3%, something like that. So very small percentage of my collection is actually in slabs. So. Martin Bow asked, and this is where I have to show lots of comics, how many comics do you read a day? What are you currently reading? And can you please show it on your channel? So if you watched the last unboxing, I was picking up pieces of a collection. And I finally completed that entire collection. And once I do that, I then try to read the entire run at once. So I don't really have that much time to read comics, strangely enough. So I only read maybe 2 or 3 comics a day at most. And generally there are many days where I don't read any, and then I'll binge read maybe 10 or so, like, or 10 to 20 even, in one day. So that's what I've been doing with this current series that I'm reading, which is Scrooge McDuck. So this is the life and times of Scrooge McDuck. It's a 285. It starts at 285 and goes all the way up to 296. So 285 is the first episode of the story, and it basically tells how he got his first dime. And it's a pretty cool story. I think they really want to have it where Scrooge McDuck doesn't become rich instantly, and he's not always rich. Actually, he has to work hard to become the rich duck that he becomes. So this book kind of starts with him as a kid and going through his first job, basically, and is earning his first dime, which was actually bit surprising the way that they tailored the story, because it's not quite the success that you would expect it to be. So this is Uncle Scrooge 285, and I'm going to show the whole series. It just basically walks through his life. Then we go into 286 and 287. It's quite funny. He goes through different things. He becomes a cattle rancher, a cow puncher, basically, and then he becomes a prospector. He's really bad at all these things that he tries, which makes it interesting. He doesn't have the best timing, but he's got determination. This is 288 or 289, I should say, 289. And then 290. So I got the whole run finally. And 291. Yeah, it's pretty great adventures. And the cool thing about this series is they'll introduce historical characters that give a little bit of that historical context. And I love history, so you get to see how America was developed and how it's almost like Forrest Gump in that way. That Uncle Scrooge is kind of experiencing all these famous people and famous situations like the Klondike, or the I shouldn't say the Klondike, but the Gold Rush, and even the 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 founding of America. Like early like Mississippi steamboats, and he does all these great things. And it's interesting to see him change and how America changes. So this is 291, and you got 292. So this is the Klondike, King of the Klondike one. And we got 293 and 294. I like these ones. This is the one that actually started the whole collection for me, actually. This is 295. And this one was one that was Disney canceled, basically. Banned it from being reprinted, maybe because of the depiction. But this is the one that got me started into collecting this series, and I was really curious about the whole idea of an origin story and a full-length origin story of Uncle Scrooge. So this is 296 or 295, and the last issue in the series is 296. Bit of a Christmas one. So yeah. So, and it sort of gives his whole life story, which is fun. I like that idea of almost like Rosebud. The what's it called? What's the name of it? The one about Howard Hughes. So now I can't remember the name of the movie, which is really bad. I totally blanked on the name of the movie. But Rosebud, the one with it's his sleigh. Eventually, that's the twist, that it's his sleigh that he loved as a kid, and that's the last thought he had was about how he enjoyed this one sleigh. But he became this big, wealthy man, and this is the last memory he has is Rosebud. So yeah. I'll remember it later, and I'll kick myself for forgetting the name of the movie. So the next question comes from Johnny Two Chips Comics. Show your Batman and Detective Comics Silver and Golden Age comics. Okay, so this is actually the last question, but it's the one that I had to kind of dig the most for. I basically brought most of my collection. Like, I didn't bring all my Detective, but I brought most of my Batman, Golden and Silver Age. We're going to start with the Raws first. So we're going to start with this one. It's from the Golden Age. This is Batman 79. I believe this is the first cover appearance of Vicky Vale, which is kind of cool. I mainly collect the keys. I'm not really a run collector for Batman. I just mainly go for the keys. This is Batman 92, which is the first appearance of Ace, the Bat Hound. And then we got 103, which is the first, or the first Silver Age Batman. That's where they, becomes like the Comic Code Authority gets stuck on it. That's 103. And then we got the wedding issue, which is 130 or 122. Ray marries Batwoman. And then we got 126, which is the Firefly, first appearance. And then we got 227, which is the first appearance of Thor. Not the same Thor as Marvel, but Thor. And then we have 133, which is a Batmite comic. I'm not sure if this is not the first appearance of Batmite, which I have as well, but I'm not sure where I put it. I gotta find it. Then we have 141. And this is like one of the last issues with Batgirl being the blonde Batgirl. And then we got, what's this one? Batman 153. And then Batman 156, sort of like Death of Robin kind of cover. And I just thought this was a cool one. I'm not really sure if it's any key or anything. But this is Batman 162. And Batman 164. I forgot where I got this one. But yeah. We have Batman 169. And Batman 171. First Silver Age appearance of the Riddler. And then we got Batman 186, which is the first appearance of what's his name? Something this little dude. It's his the Joker sidekick. So I forgot the name of him. There is him. It doesn't say. I forgot his name. Like Jokey or something. I forgot his name. And then Batman 190, which is the second Silver Age appearance of the Penguin. I think. Second or third, actually. Maybe third Silver Age appearance of Penguin. And then we have Batman 195, the first appearance of See-Through Man. Okay, so those are not all the Raws. Then we got Batman, what number? 35. This is the first appearance of the modern Catwoman, where she's wearing the kind of the purple suit, instead of the cat mask, which is what she would appear in when they first showed her in Batman number 3. So this is the first modern-ish Catwoman. And then we got Batman 42, which is the first cover appearance of Catwoman in the Batman title. She actually made her first cover appearance in Detective 22, but this is her first cover appearance on Batman. So those are, I like Catwoman. So, and then we get into the slabs. So there's a whole bunch of slabs. I'm gonna have to make some room. So this is Detective 380, which is from 1968. So Detective, and this is like maybe the bride of Batman. Kind of hinting at that. And then we have Detective 311, I should say, 311, which is the first appearance of Catman. Basically, they brought Catman he was originally from a different company. I think he was from Holyoke. And then he became a DC character. So this is his first appearance in DC Comics. So Catman. And it's also the first appearance of Zook, and Martian Manhunter gets his own first solo story. So that's triple key in that book. And then we got second appearance of Catwoman. This is Detective Comics 353. And then we got, not Catwoman. What did I say, Catwoman? I meant Batwoman. Batwoman. Okay, Batwoman. or Batgirl, I should say. Yeah, Batgirl. Man, I messed it up on so many levels. Not Catgirl, not Catwoman, not Batwoman, but Batgirl. Second appearance of Batgirl. Okay? Hopefully everyone's confused now. Second appearance of Batgirl. Wow, I can't believe I messed that up. Speaking of Batwoman, this is the first appearance of Batwoman. And she was kind of a love interest for Bruce Wayne. So, second appearance of Catwoman. Catwoman, which is Katie Kane. Okay. And we get a little earlier, we get into Golden Age. This is Batman 49, which is the first appearance of Vicky Vale and the Mad Hatter. So, Batman 49 from 1948. And then we get into some Silver Age. They're not in order. So this is Batman 155, which is the first Silver Age appearance of the Penguin. I always like this dragon cover. And then we got Batman 139, which is the first appearance of Batgirl, the blonde version, which is, I forgot her name, actually. What's her name? Betty Kane. Okay. So Betty Kane, that's her. She was blonde, the first Batgirl. Then we get into Batman 181, which is the first appearance of Poison Ivy. Really cool one. And then we get into Detective 359, which is the first appearance of Batgirl. The more modern Batgirl, I should say, the non-blonde one, where she has red hair. And we got Detective Comics, mine's a remainder copy, 230, which is the first Silver Age, or second appearance, second Mad Hatter. I have to get this all right, jeez. Second Mad Hatter. And this is actually a really cool cover. I wish it wasn't a remainder copy. It's just the Batman's been removed, where he has all the hats. It's quite a hard book to find, actually. So this is the first appearance of Mad Hatter when, what's his name? Jarvis Trench. So, Tench, I think. Jarvis Tench. And then this is Detective Comics number 40. This is the first appearance of Clayface and also the first cover appearance of the Joker. That's the Joker. So, yeah, mine's in pretty rough shape, but I'm just happy to have it. So this is Detective Comics 40. And then we get Batman Comics number 47, which is the retelling of the origin of Batman. So kind of a key book. And Batman 105, which is, I think, the second appearance of Batwoman. Second appearance of Batwoman. And also the first, is it Lois Lane? No. I want to say first, I want to say it's, I thought there was some other key thing about it. First, oh, it's also her first appearance in title. That's what it is. I was trying to remember. But I also thought it was like Catwoman something. Catwoman's first solo story or something like that, maybe. I'm not sure. But I know that it at least is the first appearance of Batwoman in the Batman title, and also the second appearance overall. So that's what's key about this book. And then we get into some more bigger books. We get the first Mr. Freeze, which is Batman 221, or 121. Mr. Freeze, first appearance. And he was not Mr. Freeze when he originally came out. He was Mr. Zero. And they later changed his name to Mr. Freeze. I actually have that somewhere or another, but I don't know where I put it. And this is just kind of a funny one. This is Batman 66, and this is the Boner. The Boner issue, because it's like they use the word boner like a million times in it. So it's just sort of a silly Batman book. And then we have Batman 22. And this is the first cover appearance of Jarvis. And it's also the first time that Jarvis looks like the modern version of Jarvis. Before, he was kind of pudgy. He really didn't look like this. And this is the more modern version of Jarvis. Alfred. Why am I saying Jarvis? Alfred. Jarvis is... You know why I'm thinking Jarvis? I was like looking into Iron Man. And Jarvis is the computer. So yeah, Alfred. This is the modern version of Alfred. So, and where he's skinny. Like he stays skinny after this. Before he was a pudgy, kind of rotund Alfred. So this is him skinny and also on the cover. And this is his first solo story. And then we get Detective Comics 241. This is the Rainbow Batman. It's just like a key key for the coolness factor of the fact that it's a Rainbow Batman. And then we get Detective Comics 225. And this is the first appearance of Martian Manhunter. So kind of a cool Detective Comics. And he's considered to be one of the first Silver Age or Atomic Age characters. Okay. And just a few more, just two more to show. And we get Batman number 3, which is my earliest Batman book. Also, it's the first appearance in full of Catwoman, as Catwoman. Before, she's just shown out of costume, and she's referred to as the Cat. In this, they actually refer to her as the Catwoman. So this is her inner costume, first appearance in costume. And her costume's really, really lame. It's just a cat mask. But this is her first appearance as Catwoman. So kind of a cool book. That's also the first appearance of the Puppet Master as well. That's double key. And the last book, my biggest Batman, and actually my earliest Batman, is Detective Comics 38, which is the first appearance of Robin, which is my biggest key by far of all the Batman comics that I have. So this is my big grail book. And that is my Detective and Batman collection, Golden Age and Silver Age. There's a few that I didn't show, which I would have to figure out where I put them. But there's a fair amount of books there. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm a bit tired. Jeez, I'm like trying to remember everything, and it's been a long day. So I hope you enjoyed this video anyways, despite me goofing and making so many mistakes. I hope you enjoyed it anyways. I got it right in the end. That's all that matters. And thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions you want to ask me, just put it in the comments below. And I hope to actually give you the right answers. That would be useful. Stay tuned. There's going to be some really great unboxings next week. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And thanks again for watching. Bye.